Back to Ollie. Hopefully he's landed that plane, the Leicester fan. Hello, Ollie.
Hi, Andy.
Hiya. That's better.
Hi. Yeah, plane's landed. So
good, nice, safe and sound. Go on then. So you're a Leicester fan. So we've talked everything from you've not signed anyone to statues for your players and so on. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, so I'm not angry with obviously not signing anyone. I just think from when we got beat by Forest in the FA Cup and Brendan came out and said this squad needs a healthy shake-up and nothing's been done since. But, you know, we all knew we were banking on Yuri Tielemans' money and it's not happened, and it's just getting a bit frustrating that we're, the only team in the top 5 leagues to have not signed anyone.
Is it a case of, do you reckon you have to get rid of a lot of players? I know Leicester's got quite a big squad, and I don't like using the word, I hate using it, but you've got a lot of deadwood there, maybe players that have maybe passed their sell-by date at the football club, whether they're old or young, but you don't really use them anymore. Is that the case as well? So you've maybe got to sell before you can buy?
I think you're right, Darren. I think we've got a lot of fringe squad players who are just not capable of the heights of what we got to in the last couple of seasons. Obviously, winning the FA Cup, 2 top 5 finishes. I just think there's just too many players there who have had the chance who haven't taken it. And when we got obliterated by injuries last season, that they tried to step up and they just didn't perform.
You've been, as a Leicester fan, you've been spoilt in recent years. You've had quite a lot of success. I don't just mean silverware, but just where you finished in the Premier League as well. Your expectations, have they changed over the last 6 or 7 years, or is Leicester still the club that you think if we get top 10 we've done well?
I would say top half finish from where we have been. Obviously, it was disappointing to miss out on top 4 2 seasons back to back, but you would like to think we could be there or thereabouts for 6th, 7th place finishes. But I think if you'd have said to me now, top 10 finish, I'd snap your hand off.
Do you know what? I look at Leicester's, say, starting 11 and even your squad, and I'd back Leicester to be up. I'm telling you, top 6 is going to be difficult, but certainly top 8 to 6. I think with that squad, that might be a little bit of underachieving. That, but Maddison, who was brilliant last season, Vardy, Fofana. Do you know what I mean?
But the problem is you've got
James
so many
Justin.
other big heads as well.
If they didn't have the injuries, and again that's the problem. Look at their midfield: Ndidi, Tielemans. Their starting 11 should be pushing for that top 6. Okay. It has to be.
Ollie, thanks for your call. Let's go to Ian, a Leicester fan. Hello, Ian.
Hi, Andy. Hi, Darren.
How you doing, boss?
How are you? Are you well?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you.
Good, man. Good. What would you like to say on national radio?
Yeah, so regarding, like Darren just said, we've got about 28 players, so we need to ship out at least 4 players just to sign 1 player, because obviously then there was a squad of 25 players in the Premier League. We've got Samare, Tielemans, who wants to go, Vestergaard, Bertrand, Chowdhury, these fringe players who's just not going to get in the squad, in the team. Also, regarding the owners, during the COVID, obviously, their King Power Group are duty-free. And obviously, the duty-free shops were closed. They weren't taking any income. And I think they're just kind of not... They don't want to spend too much money and put us in stuck, so to speak.
Well, do you know, I do fully understand that you need to sell. But I know I wouldn't push the panic button, as I was saying before, but just because... The nucleus of a squad is good.
Do you think, the window closes like a month after the season begins, there or thereabouts, right? Yeah. It's the 1st of September, I think the window closes. Do you think that they will make a call on the first few games that Leicester play? If things aren't going well, they might just not panic buy, but quickly bring 1 or 2 faces in? Or do you think a decision's already been made?
I think a decision might have already been made, but I think they're still banking on maybe Tielemans going and maybe a couple of others shipping people out. Do you know what I mean? But I mean, as I said, if I was a Leicester fan, which I'm not, and I looked at that squad, and again, I'm looking through here, there's players I even forgot about. Pereira, Ricardo Pereira, good player. Do you know what I mean? They've got good players there. But again, if their injuries start to hit again and they start to miss players for 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks, then obviously I guess it's panic stations.
Luke's up next, the Leicester fan. Hello, Luke.
Hello, guys. How are you?
Yeah, we're great. How are you? Where are you going? You're in your car. Where are you off to?
I'm going home. I've just locked up sites, and I'm going back to my loving wife, who's so excited to see me when I get back.
I bet she is. I bet she is. She might be listening. What's her name, Luke? Give her a little.
Her name's Josie White. She won't be listening. She doesn't like the fact that I watch football. She's always like, "Oh, do I have to listen to this?" But I'll listen to you, lads. Love the show.
Luke, she might be listening because it's me and Benty. No disrespect, but it might be us.
Well, you got a good point there, lads. I mean, I'm sure your bank balance is a lot healthier than mine. So,
I wouldn't have that bet. Actually, I can't afford to have that bet. But go on then, Luke. What do you want to say?
I don't know if like some of the other Leicester callers before me have agreed, but I think Leicester, we're a little bit spooked about signing players at the minute. We've had some bad signings. I mean, I know Leicester are renowned for having good signings. We've got a good reputation for selling players that we buy for max profit, but we've bought some bad players as well, and they do take up quite a considerable amount of the wage bill. And I know I sound like a bit of a broken record with what other people say, but Bertram and Vestergaard, I often said to myself, why have we bought two defensive players from a team that allowed 18 goals to be conceded in 2 games a couple of seasons ago?
Do you know what though, Luke? I understand that, but with the Vestergaard one at that particular time, I didn't think it was such a bad signing because he'd actually done well for Southampton. I think he'd been linked as well to a couple other big clubs. So when you signed him, if I'm honest, I didn't think it was a bad signing. But to be fair, his performances weren't good enough at all. No,
they weren't good enough. I mean, a lot of people on Facebook, oh no, don't bring Vestergaard on. There's a lot of, I wouldn't say hatred towards him, but people seem to get a bad feeling when he seems to step onto the pitch. I think he did quite well in the World Cup. He certainly gave Harry Kane a bit of a run for his money. It was all over him. But Leicester have been spending. I think we're like 5th or 6th in the Premier League with the most debt, and we have been investing quite heavily on infrastructure. I mean, I don't know if you know this. We're looking at the stadium expansion. That's cost quite a lot, and we have just spent around 100 million on a brand, state-of-the-art training facility. Which a lot of people go, well, Harry Maguire's paid for that. No offence, Andy, but
wasn't my money, Luke. I promise you.
No, I'm sure it wasn't. No, but that's a few things that people have been saying. And again, like the last caller, duty free was hit last year. The King Power wasn't, during COVID. No one was going abroad, and we have got careful owners. I would much rather see Leicester get rid of some players that we don't need, lower the wage bill for a season or 2, and then go back in it and spend some decent money on some decent players rather than panic buying, because we have got a good squad. We are going into this season much stronger than what we were the last. Okay. I mean, the pre-season last season, there was a few warning signs in there. We couldn't beat anyone. Okay. And this season, we look a bit better.
Okay, so. Luke, listen, I'm going to have to cut you short. My producer's having kittens. I was meant to go about 2 minutes ago, but I appreciate your call. So I kept you on.